I'm cancelling all this. So I went into other course. I did what I wanted more. Huh? So it was IT that sponsored me to do other thing. Yeah. So I did nutrition, which I love most. I love whenever I look at someone, I can study someone's health just looking at someone, and I determine whether someone is health or no. But remember, I have also IT. Yeah, that is it.
And you can actually, you can use IT in hospitals.
Exactly.
And
by the way, the first thing, the first opportunity I got, I went in as an IT specialist, but since I had a different course, reaching in there, I saw a gentleman doing another thing. So I came in as an help, to help out. So I helped someone who got an effect, then they retained me.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So what we pick maybe from your story is we shouldn't, because had you not known IT, you wouldn't have got
exactly
there. And yet, when they gave you the chance to do IT, it's not what you wanted, but
yeah.
you did it anyway. Yeah, so back to the students, it's that you might get someone going to, let's say he got a sponsor you, and they tell you, we want you to do accounting. And you say, no, me, I don't want accounting. Me, I want to be a doctor. Yet, you could find ways of using that accounting to lead you to being a doctor. So maybe we should appreciate and embrace each and every opportunity that comes in life. So here is my question. We have an issue in today's generation, our generation, where we have issues like yours. Children feel like they're not getting enough from home. And then, let me say, in the holiday, they find ways of working. They get opportunities, probably they are typing somewhere, they have gone to factories to work. But we have an issue. When these girls and boys start to work, they get uncontrollable. They feel like they are now rich. They feel like you can't tell them anything simply because you gave your mother 5,000 shillings. So I want to know, when you started giving your mother this money, I want you to be honest with me. Let me hope you didn't feel like you're the mother in the home. Because these are the issues we have today. You start telling this child, oh, now that we have made this money, how about you go back to school? Because Saul worked for 1.5 years and went back to do IT. The moment we tell them, okay, now that the money has come, how about we go back to school? They're like, who? Yet I'm here making my own money. Now I'm going to school to do what? So I want us to discuss this point. Do you think number one, do you think a young'un should work no matter the situation? Number two, when this girl or boy starts to work, there's something there that is not okay. How do we handle this situation? They get uncontrollable. They get out of... So I'll start with you, Irene. You started to give your mother money. Imagine paying her loan. Imagine treating your brother who had a liver issue. I'm sure even right now you feel like you're the problem solver of the family. Do we lose respect? Do we forget they're our mothers?
Okay, thank you. Even if you're working, a mother is always a mother. You can never compare yourself to a parent. However much you're earning, more than him or her, the parent is always a me. Paying my mother's loan doesn't mean that I should see myself as the head of the family, then leave alone the mother as the second in hand. Like I'm above her. She remained my mother, and I had to ask for certain things.
You still ask your mother for permission?
Yes. I went ahead and told her, Mommy, after I've finished paying the loan, my brother's now okay. They didn't even inform me that he's out of school. Told her, he's still in school, yes, but Mom, may I go ahead and collect my own money such that I can go back to school when I come back. She was like, it's up to you. So long as you finish all this and your brother is also studying, we are well off, why not?
So Irene, I want you, I'm going to kind of switch the topic a little bit. You have seen your mother and all that you went through, all the school fees issues. Give me one, you're getting married soon, yes? Give me one thing you have learned that you would want to correct.
Okay, one thing that I've learned that I want to correct. Like, as in how? As me in my life, or?
You have seen your mother's story
Mm-hmm.
and all that you went through. You had to pay her loans, but you're only a child to her. Give me one mistake you're not going to make when you become the mother.
Okay.
Because you're getting married soon. You're going to have a husband and a home to run. Do you think there are decisions probably that your mother made that affected you as a child that you will not make to affect your children?
Yeah.
Give me those decisions.
Okay. One thing I've learned from this. One, I'll never in my life, however much or things are okay or not okay, I'll never come like one day then decide to use my pain that was inflicted on me by my husband, then try to tell maybe my daughter or my son, like use it against him or her, because my mom had that thing. Like, your father left me with you when you're 1 week old. You're also going to face the same thing. You're also a woman. You're like that. So I felt hurt. Sometimes she used to say, you're nothing.
Because of what your father did.
Yes, you're nothing. Your father left me with nothing. You were here young. I had to struggle with you. So whenever I could do a mistake, she used to come up with some hurting words. So I went to work to show her my goodness.
That's what I was thinking right now. Because she said all these things. So you were only working to make her feel like, "Ma'am, I'm enough." Probably you don't always think, but maybe you had your own plans, but you had, okay. We are coming. So we have students that are working. Number one, do you think they should work?
Okay, on that issue, there are reasons to why they should and there are reasons to why they should not. Like what happened to me, I went to work for the Naval because I had some issues. But when your mom and dad exist, there is no reason to why you should work. When they are still providing for you, when you still have that chance of someone to provide for you, do it. It happened to me because I went into work. Now I was like looking, no way. So I said, let me go to work. So my advice to my sisters and brothers in here, if you have a chance, someone is there to pay for your tuition fees, study. Study until PhD. Don't stop.
Okay. We have seen both stories. I hope we are peaking. Are we? I'm sorry, I'm going to stick to your story. Irene had to suffer so much from decisions her mother made. She decided to have the man. It is not Irene's problem, is it? Is it her problem? No, it is not. So in the end, probably she cut short her education because she wanted to prove a point to her mother. So this is what we are saying. Sometimes your decisions may not affect you. They might affect someone else. Your decisions could affect your husband. Your decision as Rafeka could affect Nisi. Your decision as Nisi could affect Rafeka at some point. So as we make decisions, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for everyone around you. And when we go to Saul's story, most of his decisions were okay. But one thing we have picked is honestly working as a student is doing the right thing at the wrong time. But for him, it was circumstances. But one thing we learned from his story, he stayed humble. He stayed humble. And that's how he got to where he is. He knew what he wanted. Some of us, while we're in school, we want to be doctors. Then when money gets lost a little bit and then you go to De Novo and work, you're like, but why am I, what for? Let me work in De Novo till death do us part. I am getting my 5K every day, why not? And then in the future you say, Erafe, and see Aturema, but you had to have a plan. One thing I've learned from Saul's story, he had a plan. In 1 year and a half, he had money to continue. Okay? So, I want to know, are you still having issues today that you wish you would correct? Or when you became food nutrition, you're like, now, it will say, I've gotten to my dream.
The thing is somehow tough, but to collect up things that you pass through, maybe it is somehow tough.
I wanted to be a doctor in high school. Now I am a doctor. I'm giving you an example. I wanted to be a doctor in high school, and now I am a doctor. I am asking, you wanted to do food nutrition in high school. Right now you're doing food nutrition. Do you get to a point where you wish you didn't do food nutrition?
Okay, now I've got the question. As I started earlier, my dream was to become that, but I went into IT, which wasn't my thing. So I had to struggle a lot to see that I reached to where I wanted. So I can't regret anything. It is not perfect unless otherwise I want to do anything else.
Irene, are you where you wanted to be?
Probably it could be no.
No.
Yeah.
Because you dropped out at S4?
Yes.
And you went and worked?
Mm-hmm.
But you dropped out at S4. You must have been about 17 or 18.
Yeah, I was 16.
16?
Yes.
And you went to work? Where?
Dubai.
In Dubai?
Yes.
At 16?
Yes.
Who's 16 here? Pauline. Gift, you're 16. So I'm imagining Gift telling us right now, you people, I'm going to Dubai to work. We will even cage her somewhere. It is so abnormal. It is so not right.
Okay. When I was going abroad, yes, I was 16, but I was so far.
And you went to the company and they gave you the job.
Yes.
And they told you they're taking you to Dubai.
I did not tell them.
Oh, you told them you're 26.
I told them I'm 23.
Exactly. Exactly. Because, give me briefly a little bit of your journey in Dubai because you were young, the challenges. Okay, you left this place, you were 16, they have given you the job, they have taken you to Dubai. Oh, thank God, you get to Dubai.
Okay, probably when I decided to go abroad, my mom had a good plan because she was so bright in those areas. She told me, since you're energetic and so fat, because I was like, the other lady? The other one? Yes. But I was 16. So she told me, yes, we can forge and give you more years. So she gave me 23. I got a passport. No one could tell that I'm 16. So I went abroad. Reaching there, so many things happened to me after like 1 year. Like,
How long were you there?
in Dubai, I spent there 1 year. Then I came back.
Okay.
I was to stay there for 2 years, but some things happened to me, so I
What
had to come
happened?
back.
What happened?
When I was in Dubai, and this the same thing that makes me regret going abroad. I went there, I worked for 1 year, but so many things happened to me. I even failed to tell my mom. I had to tell her after coming back. First and foremost, I had to reach in a home when I'm the only person who can speak English. The rest of the family members, except those ones who are working, coming back during weekends only.
So the job you got in Dubai is to become a maid.
Yes.
And then they took you to a home where you had to be the maid and caretaker. And you got there and you were the only one speaking English.
Exactly.
Okay, let's start from there.
So I had to struggle telling them what I want. Asking for food, you're like telling them something they've never heard of. So they were young children, but for them and their schools were studying in Arabic. So I found it so difficult to ask for certain things. So I had to use actions for almost 2 months. Even the fellow maid that I used to work with, she did not know any English. She was an Indonesian lady. So she could always find problems with me. She could always report me this one that. So even teaching me how to work was a very big problem to me. So, secondly, something that makes me regret so much going to Dubai was attempted rape. I had to go through that also, because when I was there for like, in my 8th month, there was an elder boy in the family. So they had a big bungalow and a flat somewhere. So I had to go up, correct clothes, then clean up the bathroom, even his room, lay his bed, come down, wash, then take them back. But when I went up there, I found he's not around. So I went up there. I found him sleeping. He told me, I knocked on that door. He told me, come in, because he knew what I was going to pick. I went to his bathroom, picked his clothes. But coming out, the guy was on the doorway. He had locked it. So he told me, for you to go out, you have to do this with me.
And at this point, you were able to communicate?
Yes, because I had learned some Arabic.
And did he say this in Arabic?
Yes.
And you understood what he was saying?
Yes.
Okay.
And he used some little bit of English.
Mm.
So I told him, do what with you? He told me, you know what I want. So we have to do this. I told him, no. I could not scream.
You could not scream?
Should I answer him?
What he wanted, what the man wanted?
Yeah. Actually, he wanted to have sex with me. So I told him, I cannot do this. He was called Jesus. Jesus, no, this is impossible. I did not come for this. I came for work. Probably, and I'm still young. I have a future ahead of me. I have to go back and go to school. What if I get pregnant? You people, you'll kill me from here. No. He told me, you either do this with me, or you're not getting out. So we started fighting seriously. The good thing, I was putting on a long dress, and inside there, I had a legging. So there was no way he could rape me without removing the legging.
So I want to just ask, how are you dressed in all these things?
Hey.
Did you know? Did you sense something?
No. It's like whenever you're there, you're given long dresses, big long dresses.
So you had a dress and a legging and...
Yes. We normally put them inside. We normally put them inside when you're there.
Okay.
So the good thing, and that thing saved me a lot, because I had it. We fought seriously because he was already undressed.
He was completely naked?
Yes. And I had to come up, run from the other corner to this corner. Then he told me, he opened up his wardrobe, said, I have a gun here with me. So you either do it.
And did he have the gun?
Yes, it was there.
And you weren't scared?
I was scared, but I had to fight for my life still. Because even if I had done it with him, still problems would have come. That is unprotected sex. You have to get pregnant, whether you want it or not. So I told him, I cannot do this. I can either jump through the window, and they will ask you why I had jumped through the window, or you let me go.
So how did you get out of that room?
I climbed the window. When I was there, he told me, don't jump. It's okay. Come and go. That's how he let me go.
So after this day, for how long did you live in that house?
I had to stay there for some other 4 months, but in fear.
You and this human being are looking at each other every day.
I suffered even a depression from that day on. Because whenever he could come during weekends, I could fear going to his room. Eating became a problem. Sleeping, because they used to come in our room to pick clothes. So I could always live in fear. Whenever he could come and touch me and say, Irene, then you're like, please go out of this room. I'll bring your clothes when you go. And he's like, there's nothing you can do. You cannot even report me because no one will believe you. So I told him, Azus, please. And through that depression, I had to go in the hospital.
So when these people take you to go and work, don't you have communication with them to tell them how you are, the problems you're facing? Because what I want to know, did you talk to someone after this day? Because depression is real until you talk to someone. Did you talk to someone?
I talked to someone, but towards my coming back.
So for 4 months, you were tortured mentally by this, and
yes,
no one knew?
I had no phone. I could not talk to anyone. And I could not report this boy or this guy because I had no one to support me. Because even the mother or the father wouldn't believe me because this one is their son. And who am I? Just a maid. So that one led me to another incident still. Because they had to, I told them, because of the too much fear, I told them I want to go back home. They told me, you cannot leave. You still have a full year here. So they told me, you have to do whatever we tell you. There is no way you can pay for your ticket to go back to Uganda. So I kept on crying. What they did, because the father was a policeman, they took me to the police station. You know what they told the inspector? This one had a knife. She wanted to kill a child, or she wanted to kill my daughter. I told them, where is the daughter that I wanted to kill?
And why are they doing this? Because you asked them to leave?
Yes.
So they decided to take you to police and report? Did they sense something?
Maybe they didn't want, they pay a lot of money.
And they didn't want you to leave?
Yes.
So because they didn't want you to leave, they would rather put a case on you.
So when I faced the inspector, I told him, Mister, I don't even work in the kitchen. These people found me crying, telling them I want to go home. I was even ironing clothes. Where did I get the knife from? Let them bring in the child. Then let the child maybe tell the truth. The man was like, I'm not bringing out my child. My daughter is scared of her. There is no way. Then there was an Ethiopian guy. He came in. He told them, but seriously, this girl looks to be innocent. It was like an angel from God. Like he saved me. He told me, you relax. We are going to fight this together. And I was like, God, thank you.
What happens when you left the police station? Did you go back to their house?
They took me to the hospital. They injected me. There you lost consciousness. When I regained my consciousness, I found myself in another big hospital. In that big hospital.
Were you sick?
They told me that I was mentally ill. Then they took me there for some good 2 weeks. When I faced the psychiatrist, he told me, what do you want? I told him, I want to go home. But these people, they are making me do things that I don't want to do. I told him about the incident of that boy and this one. He told me, okay, I'll see what I'll do. The following day, when he called my boss said, I don't want to hear that story of that girl. I'm tired of her. Let her go. It's okay. She can go. I'll bring her passport. Then the next day, then the psychiatrist called me again and told me, it's okay. They have agreed to take you home. But this is what he has said. He told me everything that they talked about with the other boss of mine.
To these people that took you to this place to work?
Like the agents in Uganda?
Yes.
Yeah, I went back to him, but he said, we are sorry.
Wanted peace.
Yes.
And do you think you're going to go back? Or this mentally disturbed you? So, it's been too much of the lady. Let's listen to the gentleman. So, in school, most times the men, the boys, there's a point they get to where they feel they have beards now. I don't know at what age you started growing your beard. They have beards now. They have that voice, and they feel life is nothing without a girl or something. I want you to explain to me how you escaped relationships in high school.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Like any other person, but it wasn't that simple. Because, as I told you, in my Form 1, Form 2, again. So, I was half in that way. I ended up getting some peer groups. I entered some groups. These groups were more of like dating girls, and I could be the manager now. I could be the manager of the group. They could get money. I could get money, give them. They start hustling. That is like nothing.
Do they bring these ladies to you? Because you're the one giving them the money.
I was a broker, like a broker.
You were the one bringing the ladies to them.
Yeah, I could connect like Form 3s to Senior 6s. So I could earn some earning there. I could earn some carito money. Like to enjoy my lunch and so on. I wanted that good life, so I could connect. For me, just say, I need the other and I say, hey, it's Form 2 tomorrow.
I want to know, what expertise did you have that these people didn't have, that they had to go through you? Were you soft-spoken? Did you know how? What? You must have been an expert. For them not to go for themselves, they have to actually pay you to go and do it for them.
Okay. What makes people more or to be known in schools, in terms of academics, I was somehow good. So I could relate these people in terms of discussions and so on. So people could come closer to me. So when you come for a discussion for me, hey, you need the other one. So I connect you rapidly. You come with this class, I connect you to someone because of that thing. So I could connect up guys in Form 6 to guys in Senior 3, Senior 2, like in that way. Because when it comes to discussion, I could discuss with people and so on. So it became simpler to me to connect up these people. Remember I told you, for me, I needed the money.
So you needed the money.
Yeah.
But as you were connecting these girls to these boys, didn't you want a girl for yourself?
Uh-huh. Okay.
That sounds like a yes, by the way. It really sounds like, yes, you really wanted these girls for yourself. So let's start from there. Yes, you wanted these girls for yourself. What happened?
Okay. Like any boy, Senior 3, it is the time someone thinks that he has matured. So so I was somehow clever. I knew I'd matured, but I feared sex. I feared HIV a lot. So whenever I could hear HIV just coming next to you, I could just run away like nothing. I say, hey, Inzenga, I just stop there.
By the way, by the way, you were very heartless. You fear HIV. And the thing you fear most, you are connecting your friends to.
Now, this was my connection. My connection, my connection was somehow a clever guy. When I connect a girl to you, I can't, or I don't leave minus knowing the girl that she has left before me. I could be like Anna Fande. I come, I stay there. If I see you acting like something, because I knew the end result. If you act, I say, Neda, I'm leaving.
So really, what were they paying you to do? For them to stand and talk to this girl and that's done?
Maybe it was just, that is senior 3,
he was
senior
banging
2.
5-0. By the way, that is not being an afande. Banging 5-0, you stand like 10 meters away.
And for me, I couldn't leave minus knowing what they are saying. I wanted to understand before.
I have tried to understand your business, but I'm failing to understand your business. Your client is paying you to have a good time with this lady. And you're standing there to avoid them from having that good time, yet they paid you.
I could know the end result, so I couldn't leave.
So did you get more clients after that?
No.
So, I want you to tell me, did you have outcomes from these connections? Did something ever happen and you're like, ouch, I wish I didn't do this? Weren't you ever caught? Yeah. Did they ever get to know about you, the teachers,
No.
You were smart at this business, by the way. And you finished your S6 without a relationship.
Okay.
You know, now we know your yes. That's a yes. That's a yes. That's a yes.
Remember, there is a difference between science students. I did sciences, so this happens too. But sciences are always...
So, I know what you're going to say.
I'm coming to that.
I know what you're going to say. I went to a very prominent school, and sciences, you know, the laboratory was the most dirty place in the whole school. Laboratory, sciences. Because for us, we didn't have places. But sciences, you ask for the laboratory to the key, and...
Okay, in my high school, I don't remember entering into...
Saul, your school is here. We shall go there.
Yeah, I don't remember entering into a serious relationship. No, I had these, like, joking, simple things and so on.
Situationships.
Simple things
and
like
you had
that.
so many. Okay, so you leave secondary and you go for IT. Now you're a cool guy. You even know how to use the computer till the intestines, and you still didn't have a relationship.
Okay. I remember it was... Remember I told you I got saved in my form 3.
Yes, that
so
one we understood.
I had that fear inside me. But I could be a born again at home. When it comes to school, I'm up. So this happened to me. I remember having one girl.
During your IT studies?
Not IT, that is Form 5.
Now we have gone back to the reality in
that
school.
is Form 5.
Okay. Now you were beating around the bush. You're not telling us. You had a girl in S5.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened to the girl?
Okay. I moved with the girl for like 2 years.
That relationship was really long for secondary.
2 years. And remember, we are not in the same schools. So, this happened to me. I moved with that girl for 2 years, but doing nothing. It's like having a friend you could just joke with. Having someone who could talk, do nothing like that. So I could have that girl just to be there, to make me happy, to make me what, and so on.
And now let me ask you a simple question. You had this girl just to make you happy. How was she making you happy?
Okay. I won't stop talking about being a born again. I will defer to it. So, I was a born again, but half.
So, we understood that point.
Yes.
You have said it like 3 times. Answer our question, how was she making you happy?
Okay. So, this girl, she had stopped in Form 4, and she was a maid somewhere. Like she had come to visit her auntie, a sister. So she had come for a holiday. Now coming for holiday, she told her auntie, I'm not going back to school. So I met that girl we started moving together. She could give me some happiness, some joy, some what.
That is the question. How?
How? This girl could bring me some things. Yeah? She's a girl who could buy like suits.
At your home?
At my parents' home, not my home.
She used to bring you suits?
She could buy things like...
A suit?
Yeah, shoes.
Men's shoes are expensive. And your parents were okay with this girl bringing you suits?
For me, I just wanted those things only. Whenever you could receive those things, life would just move on like that.
So wali okuula omukazi, in other words?
Yeah?
Wali okuula omukazi?
Oko si kukuula. It was love.
So this is my question. Okay, that girl ended. From that girl till now, you haven't had another one bringing you suits and shoes?
I can't lie before the Lord.
You're like that ever since that girl?
Yes.
So I want to understand, that was your first relationship and last?
Exactly.
It brings us to a point that you are still a virgin.
Exactly.
Ladies, he's single and he's a virgin. Nabulia? One. The others were situationships. So anyway, let me take us through a little bit as we send the microphones down to that side. Irene went to nursery school, she went to primary school, and she stopped at S4, where she got to a point and she felt like she had to make her mother proud, and she thought the way she would make her mother proud is by going out to Dubai and work and take care of her mother. Because her mother raised her in a way where she was always mocking her for the mistakes she made with her father. And when she went out to work, we have all listened to what she went through, and she came back and tried to make her life back to normal. And a month or less from now, she will be Mrs. Then, Saul's life banange. Saul went to nursery, everything was okay. He went to primary, everything was okay. He went to secondary, everything was okay. He was a sciencer and a bloker. He even made business in school, a bloker for girls to boys. And he even got a girlfriend who used to buy him suits and shoes. And the relationship ended after 2 years, and till today he's working at his dream job. The exact thing he wanted to be is what he is today. And he's still living his life as a normal person, working and also serving God. So yeah, we have listened to both sides. And in the shortest of time, I am going to receive a few questions from the other side.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, so let's see those that have questions. I heard William say he had many questions.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I've learned a lot from Brother Saul's history or high school history. It is teaching me that really someone can be in a relationship which is not a sexual relationship, and it is teaching me still, because I did not hear well from Irene, I came late, but Saul is teaching me that it is very possible, a boy or a girl, to be in a love relationship which is not a sexual relationship, meaning friendship. Yeah? And I'm also learning that it is normal and healthy and good for someone to stay at this time, at this age of Saul, to be a virgin, as a virgin. It is also okay. That's what I'm learning. Yeah? Although there are other people who start those things early, which is also dangerous, but I've learned that it is also normal and very okay. Because now, don't you see Saul is now a minister of God, is what? Yeah? So that's what I've learned. I don't have any big contribution. I was like talking about the lessons I've learned.
So Saul, let me ask you one question. Do you ever feel like the decision to stay virgin was the wrong decision to make? Like when you listen to all, I'm sure you have friends that are probably home with their girlfriends, others are now married, others have children, and you look around. Do you ever feel like, because we've had people say being a virgin is outdated?
Okay. By the way, most of my friends are now married. Yeah?
And did they get married virgins?
No. Being a virgin, it is the grace of God. It's not me. And if it wasn't God, I could be somehow very far. When it comes to ladies, I could be like sleeping to more than 2 of them in a day. But it was because of the grace of God that helped me since then.
You know, we are talking to youth now, especially the youngins, because when I tell a young girl grace of God, they might not really understand it very well. So I want you to break down that grace of God that is helping you stay a virgin.
Okay. What I remember in life, I could not miss fellowships. 1, I could not miss any conference I hear somewhere. If it is youth conference, I could go in. I could associate with senior youth in the church, whom I knew that I can learn something from them. I could ask questions, and I could admire people who have made it. And I could ask myself, if someone can make it like this, who am I who can't make it? So I had also a dream in my life.
So you had a dream. I'm sorry, I'm really going to ask you very many questions for the rest of the people to understand what we're asking. You know, today in church today, we have so many youth that have been in church all their lives. They were in Sunday school, they were in EYF forever, they were in worship choir, their circles were the same circles you have been in. And they are still either fathers now, They lost their virginity because we have even our peers in church that tell us, what? You're a virgin? So how did you select these circles? Because the devil even tempts the pastors. So the devil also comes to church. So you can't tell me the way you reached your goal of staying clean is because you had Christian circles, is because you went to fellowships. How did you go across these circles in church that the devil uses to tempt us?
Okay. I thank God that I'm an evangelist. Yeah?
For how long have you been an evangelist?
For how long? Now it's approaching to 2 years.
3 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. But I usually tell my friends, my brothers outside there, and it is the thing that I usually put on my fingertips. Salvation is personal. I wasn't born again because of my family, because of my elder brothers and sisters. I got saved because of I. So I wanted to see the glory of God coming to the top in my life.
Good. Saul, you have really answered my question. So the first answer you gave me was a wrong answer. We take that as a wrong answer. We are not who we are because of the friends we have. Because you had these friends and they got married even after they had lost their virginity. But because you as personally, you had your decision. You have said salvation is personal, meaning you and your God had a pact that you had made. So I am not a virgin because I went to fellowship. I am a virgin because there is a pact I had with my God, and I wanted, there are goals I had, the goals you have told us, the salvation and everything. But I want us to read people's comments. Oh yeah, Bukenya Jeremiah asked for Irene's point. Irene was only saying that she learned so much. She has learned that it is also okay in this generation to be a virgin. And she has also learned that being in a relationship doesn't mean you have to get sexual. You can still have a relationship that doesn't have sex involved until it's the right time. And then Nathaniel says, yes, you can be in a relationship with sex once you love to be fruitful in God's faith. God's faith. Thank you very much. Then Bukenya Jeremiah says again, by the way, being penine is a decision. Penine is a decision like these three guys in Daniel chapter 3:1. It's a decision because once you play sex with someone, it's a soul tie forever. And he continues to say it's a decision making, not devil to attempting you, not really. You normally say that devil, not really. Okay. Yeah, people online, we are happy to have you with us today. We are glad we are fellowshipping together today. Do we have any questions that side? We need questions for Irene. Okay, I will put and highlight a little bit on Irene's story. And now this goes to the adult youth. I pray, from Irene's story, I pray our children do not pay for the mistakes we made. And I hope for everyone, part of decision making comes from the things we see in life. Irene has said when she grows, she's going to get married. When she gets married, there are things she's not going to do because she saw her mother do it. I want us to also understand that our mothers are not angels. And it's also not a must that you have to be like your mother. It's a very bitter truth, by the way. It's something I normally tell my friends. It's not a must you have to be like your mother. Because there are things our parents do that are not right. Personally, my mother ain't a born again, and she hates born agains. but we make decisions. Sometimes when you get to another level, you decide for you what is the right thing to do. There are things Irene's mother did, and she wishes. She would be like, I also want to be like my mother. This is my mother. I have to be like my mother. May I resemble my mother? But she looks at them and she's like, you are my mother? And don't forget, it doesn't mean stop respecting your mother, because she told us still today she still respects her mother, even though she did whatever she did. Keep respecting your parents, but their decisions you look at and you're like, I'm not going to be like my mother. When I grow up, I'm going to correct this. Yes? I personally don't want my children to be like me. But I also have things from my mother that I don't want to do to my children. I wish my children don't get to a point of dropping out of school to take care of me. This is why when you're making decisions right now, you need to work. You need to work to provide for your